Hi, so we're doing Music Tech National 5 revision. Exam is on the 11th of May. One of the things we covered in a lesson this week or last week has been intellectual property. So there was quite a few people off that lesson. So to make sure that everyone's got some kind of a record of what we need to go over, I'm just going to go over it again very quickly. So what intellectual property is when you create something. Um, the question is who owns it. So it's very hard to kind of state ownership of an idea. So if you've come up with a piece of music, for example, if you're the composer and you've written this piece of music, how can you prove that you own it? What do you do if someone else decides to steal that piece of music and claim it as their own, or if they steal a part of it, maybe they steal the chord progression, or maybe they steal a bass line, or maybe they steal a melody, or if it's a particular rhythm or feel, who how do you protect what you've created, what you've come up with yourself? So the legislation and the law that is there to help you do that is called copyright law. So how this works, if you've composed something, if you've come up with this original idea, you own that, and you would have ownership of that. And if someone else wanted to use that, they would have to seek your permission in order to use it. So you'd automatically own what you've created unless you give permission for someone else to use it. They're not allowed to use it. They're not allowed to use that bit of your music in their song on their own recording. So an example would be that if someone wanted to use a bit of your song, or they wanted to use the bass line, or they wanted to use a chord progression, they could give you credit. So they might make a note on the record leaflet inside the CD case. They might say that, right, okay, so this person was credited with helping write this song, or they might pay you royalties, which means that you'd get a financial benefit from your original idea. So we're going to look at some example questions in a minute. But that's the gist of it. So it's intellectual property, and copyright law is the law that protects you against other people stealing your work.